Hi, it's Joe, and welcome to this Strength Builder practice. Today I'll be leading you through some adductor stretches and strengthening poses, finishing off with a refreshing flow that works towards our peak pose for this practice, Bird of Paradise. Let's begin. Sit in a comfortable position and prepare your heart and mind for the practice today. With an inhale breath, breathing in through your nose, and a big sigh out. Today's reading is from the New Living Translation of the Bible, Zechariah 4:10. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin, to see the plumb line in Zerubbabel's hand. Now Zerubbabel led the first wave of exiled Jews back into Jerusalem and was tasked to rebuild the temple that was destroyed by the Babylonians. And even though this second temple was not as extravagant as the original one, with less resources dedicated to it, we see and read on in other books of the Bible, such as Ezra as well, that God is still pleased with it and will use it for His glory. So today, whatever you're working on, however you are serving, don't underestimate your worth and your calling. The days of small beginnings may face opposition and limitation, as did Zerubbabel and in his rebuilding project. But the Lord rejoices to see even just the beginning, and you can trust that as long as He has appointed you, it will be used for His glory. Close your eyes and start noticing your breath. Start breathing in and out through the nose using your oceanic breath, and just slow it down. Bring your awareness to the small areas of tension in your body, areas that you've despised or neglected. Give them some love and attention. Maybe it's the muscles behind the eyeballs. Maybe it's the muscles between the ears and the jaws. Maybe it's the muscles in the toes. Give them some love and breathe space into those areas. And hand over any fears to the Lord of small things and small beginnings that you don't believe in your heart will grow, but still feel the urge to do it. Be encouraged, for the word of the Lord says, do not despise the days of small things. Take another breath in through the nose. Hold at the top of the breath and slowly exhale, release. Slowly crack open your eyes. And we'll start in our first pose today, bound angle. In bound angle pose, we'll bring the soles of the feet together and create a diamond shape between your legs. If your hips feel very tight, you can place 2 blocks underneath your legs just to give them some support. Or you can sit on 1 block and take your bound angle sitting on the block. I'm going to sit on the floor because I have nice and flexible hips. Find your bound angle, sitting up nice and tall, rooting the sitting bones into the mat, bringing the crown of the head towards the sky. And take a fold forward, walking your fingertips forward. And instead of hunching the back, bringing the belly towards the mat. And drawing deep breaths in through the nose, into your belly. Exhale, see if you can fold down a little deeper. Allow your exhales to release tension in the small areas in the body and come down low. In bound angle pose, you'll feel a stretch in the lower back, the glute muscles, and the inner thighs. See if you can come down all the way low to smell your feet even. And slowly coming up, walking your hands in, bringing the feet in with the heels close to the groin area. Again, using your blocks if you need, and just let your knees fall to the side and relax. In this bound angle variation, you'll feel a stretch in the inner thighs. And again, we're going to fold forwards, walking your hands forwards, coming down onto the forearms, folding the belly towards the feet, tucking the chin, extending the crown of the head forward, and slowly lower down even more. Allowing any tension from the forehead and the facial muscles to melt downwards. Breathing space into the lower back, into the glute muscles, into the inner thighs, and feeling the extension of the inner thigh muscles. And slowly walk your hands back up. And now just swing your legs behind you and press your hands in front of you, and we're going to come into a yogi squat. So coming either onto your toes or the balls of the feet, using your block to place it under your sit bones if you need. Otherwise, if you have the flexibility and it feels good, come all the way down onto your heels into your yogi squat. Bring your hands to heart center, your thumb pressing into the heart center, and the tricep muscles pressing outwards into the inner thighs, lifting the crown of the head towards the sky, letting the sit bones drop, and feeling the stretch in the inner thighs again. Breathing in and out through the nose, maybe closing your eyes. Again, breathing space into areas that need release, not neglecting the small areas in your body. In this pose, we're stretching and strengthening, doing two actions, both stretching the inner thighs and strengthening the hips. Maybe gazing down, forward onto the ground, a point that doesn't move, or maybe having your eyelids soften and closed. And now, crack open your eyes if you have them closed. Bring your hands back down. And now we're going to extend the left leg out to the side and press the outer edge, the blade edge of the foot, the outer edge of the foot down onto the mat. Your right foot might come onto the ball of the foot if you've got really tight inner thigh muscles. Otherwise, if you have the flexibility, you can bring the right heel down and sink your hips low into this side lunge. Not so much flying monkey pose just yet. We'll get to that in a second. But make sure that the left foot is rooted into the mat and stretching the inner thighs. We're doing a lot of inner thigh stretch today to prepare ourselves for our peak pose. Breathing into this space. And just to remember that small things can still bring glory to God. And it may not be right now, and you don't know what will happen in future. It may not be something that you can see, but make sure that you trust in the small beginnings. So bringing your hands to heart center and opening up, imagining small becoming big to glorify the Lord. Hands back to heart center, breathing in. Exhale, expand out. And smile. Inhale, coming back in. Press your hands back onto the mat. And now we're shifting the weight over to the other side. So bend the left knee and come onto the left ball of the foot. Press the right foot down, rooting the blade edge of the right foot into the mat. And if you have the flexibility in your right thigh, start pressing the left heel down into a side lunge. Sinking your hips low, lifting the crown of the head towards the sky. The chin is pointing down. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Again, remembering small to big, small beginnings. Inhale breath. Exhale, open up wide, spreading your hands like wings and looking up, smiling. Inhale, bring your hands back to heart center. Exhale, spread your wings wide. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, spread. Coming back to hands back to heart center and bringing them down. Walking them to the center. We're coming back onto the right side, bending the right knee. This time, instead of rooting your left foot down, we're going to turn and spin the heel so that the big toe is pointing towards the sky. And this is flying monkey pose. So this stretches a different muscle in the inner thigh and also promotes an outer rotation of the left hip here. So coming here with me, again, if you need a block to place under your sit bones to give you some support, you can do that. Otherwise, bring the heel down, hands to heart, and we'll reach our wings out again. Inhale, breath. Exhale, expand. Inhale, breath. Exhale, expand. And last one, inhale, coming back to center. Expand. Do not despise the days of small beginnings. Inhale, hands back to center, hands back down onto the ground, shifting over to the other side. Use your block if you need. Bring your block with you. Pointing the right big toe up towards the sky, coming into flying monkey. Hands to heart center, the thumb pointing to the center of the chest. Inhale, breath, long breath in. Exhale, expand, looking up towards the sky and smiling. Inhale, coming to center. Exhale, opening up. Lord, I just want to serve you. It doesn't matter how small or big I'm serving in your kingdom and how big an impact it is or how small an impact it is. I know and trust in your plans for me. Inhale, coming back to center with a smile. And then walking your hands back to the middle. Now we're bringing our knees level with each other, keeping it bent. The big toes are pointing, us turned 45 degrees outwards. And we're going to come up into horse pose. So coming onto the fingertips first, keeping the hips low. We're going to bring our hands to heart center in horse pose. And then bringing our hands just on top of the thighs, sinking the weight of the upper body into the thighs with our hands. And now we'll take some twists. Exhale, bring your right shoulder to the center. Press into the right thigh, twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist, pressing the right hand into the right thigh. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side, pressing the left hand into the left thigh. And coming back up, bring your hands to heart center and sink a little deeper. And this is definitely a strengthening pose. You should feel some heat being created in your inner thigh area. Sink a little deeper and let your breath guide you. Inhale, straighten your legs. Heel toe your feet back into center, into standing. And now we'll flow and work towards our peak pose for today, bird of paradise. Come to the top of your mat in mountain pose. Reset and find some grounding in your feet, rooting all four corners of your feet into the mat, engaging your stomach muscles, knitting your ribs in. Chin is pointing towards the mat with the crown of the head lifting up. Inhale, reach your arms up, gazing up at your thumb, and exhale, fold forward for forward fold. Inhale, hands on chin, pull your chest forward for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands into the mat, step into your plank pose. Shifting forward, hug the elbows in and lower down into your yogi push-up. Staying in your yogi push-up, untuck your toes, come up into upward facing dog. Let your hips sink a little, maybe move it left and right, pull your chest forward, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your big toes to touch. Inhale, lift your left leg up, look between your hands and step the foot between your hands. Slowly rise up into your crescent lunge on an inhale breath. Right hand reaches forward, left arm reaches back. Sweep the left hand behind to hold onto your right hip, keeping your hips level, hip bones shining forward. Reach your right arm up and look up. Feeling that nice, yummy stretch in your right hip flexor muscle. And then windmilling out into your warrior two. Heel to heel alignment. Sinking your left knee down, making sure your shoulders are stacked over the hips. Flip your front palm forward and reverse your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, bring your left hand to the inside of the left ankle and reach your right arm over your right bicep next to your ear. And here, we'll take a bind. So reach your left hand behind and your right arm to interlace the fingers, or hold on, use your left hand to hold on to the right wrist if that's accessible. If not, you can just hook your index fingers together. Now here is where we'll get into bird of paradise pose. So bearing your weight into your right foot, slowly heel toe your right leg in towards the center of the mat. And now shift the weight into your right foot and slowly pick up your left foot off the mat, coming up, standing. And today, this might be your version of bird of paradise. Remember, it's not about how big we grow, how big we're serving, and how big we are. It can be just small beginnings, and that can still glorify the Lord in whatever we do. However, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can start extending that left foot up and straightening out that leg, coming into the full expression of bird of paradise pose. And with your left foot, you want to flaunt your foot or flex it. Smiling. Now bending that left knee and slowly lowering the left foot back down as gracefully as you can onto the mat. Unhook your hands and just come forward into a forward fold. Swaying your hips maybe left and right, bending opposite knees. And then slowly rising up, reaching your arms above your head, gazing up as your palms touch. And exhale your hands back to heart center. And we'll flow through, taking a bird of paradise on the other side, starting at the top of our mats again. Inhaling, reaching your arms up. Exhaling, folding forward, making sure the spine is long and you're hinging through the hips. Inhale, take a halfway lift, pull the crown of the head forward. Exhale, lower down. Step back into your plank. Lower down, flow through. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg up, look between your hands and step it through. Getting ready to rise up for your crescent lunge. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back. Sweep your right hand to grab hold of your left hip and then reach your left arm up, feeling the yummy stretch in your left hip flexor muscle. And then windmill your hands out, coming into warrior two. Sinking right knee low, sinking the hips low, pressing into the blade edge of the back foot or the left foot. Flip your right palm around. Inhale, reach over for your reverse warrior. Exhale, right hand comes down to the inside of the right ankle. Stretching your left arm forward over your ears, left bicep over the left ear for extended side angle. And now we're going to take the bind. So reaching your right hand behind to reach your bottom. Left arm reaches behind, either hooking your index fingers together or grabbing hold of the right wrist with your left hand, bearing weight into the right knee or the right foot, not the right knee, the right foot, and then slowly heel toe your left foot to the center of the mat. And then shift the weight over to your left foot and slowly pick up that right foot, finding your balance first and slowly coming up to standing. Again, keeping your right knee bent. And if this is your version of Bird of Paradise today, so be it. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to come back down and turn around to face the camera. And if you want to extend your right leg up and straighten the right leg to find the full expression of Bird of Paradise, you can do so. Taking a breath in and out through the nose, finding your balance. And this is an extremely strong pose, so if you fall out of it, it's all right. Don't be discouraged. The days of small beginnings. And if you find yourself falling over like I did, that's also fine. So give yourself some grace. So pressing your hands down, coming down into your forward fold, grab hold of the sides of the elbows and sway left and right, bending opposite knees. Catching your breath and breathing into the hip area and your inner thighs. Well done, guys. Pressing your hands onto your shin. Come up for your halfway lift. Take an inhale breath, big breath in. And exhale, let everything roll off the spine, forward fold. Bend your knees a lot and slowly roll up into standing, sweeping your arms up, gazing up, and this time, grabbing hold of your left wrist with your right hand, lean over to the right, spin the ribs open towards the sky, maybe gazing up. Try and straighten the left arm if you can, straightening the left elbow. Inhale, coming back to center, and then swap sides, grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand, and then lean over to the left, spinning the ribs towards the sky, straightening the right elbow if you can. Inhaling back up, opening up into cactus arms, and taking a small back bend. So leaning back, looking up, and take an exhale. Inhale, coming back up. Hands point towards the sky, and then bring your hands to heart center. And then we'll take one more flow, and then find ourselves back lying on the mat to finish off the practice. Starting at the top of your mats. Inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale, folding. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into your down dog. Drop your knees onto the mat. Big toes touch. And press your forehead onto the mat in child's pose. Let the creases between your eyebrows move towards the nose. As you bring your awareness back to your breath and back to the theme for today. Do not despise the days of small things. Zerubbabel faced so many challenges in rebuilding a temple, and not even finishing up to a temple that was as magnificent as the original one. But the Lord was pleased with it. So take courage, friends, whatever you're working on, however small it feels, or however small you feel. Know that if you are called to it, that it is pleasing to the Lord. And that's really all that matters, right? Slowly walk your hands back up into a kneeling position and swing your legs in front of you. And then lower yourself down onto your backs slowly. Hug your knees to your chest and give your back a massage, swaying left and right. And bring the soles of the feet onto the ground. Stack your right ankle over your left thigh and come in for reclined pigeon pose, grabbing hold of your left thigh or your left shin and pulling it in. Pressing your right knee towards the sky. As a counteraction, feeling the stretch in your right glute muscle, maybe the right hip, maybe even stretching into the right lower back. And allow the shoulder blades to melt towards the mat. Lowering your left leg down, unhook your right foot, stack your left ankle on top of your right thigh, pulling your right thigh or shin towards the chest, pressing the left knee towards the sky and melt the shoulder blades down. Breathing into the space that needs to stretch, whether that be your glute muscle on the left hip, the left lower back. Releasing any tension in your jaws, your neck. And lower your right leg back down, soles of the feet onto the mat, and extend your legs out. Stretch your arms over your head, point your toes, and stretch like you do when you wake up in the morning. Resetting your mind, just not letting anything get into the way of what you're doing, however big or small it is. Inhale, exhale the arms by your side. Take a moment to do a body scan from the crown of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes. Making sure you're not neglecting any of the small muscles that need space, that needs relaxing, that needs attention. Feel the rise of the belly as you breathe in. Fall of the belly as you breathe out. Check the tiny muscles behind the eyeballs. The muscles in the digits and the fingertips, are they relaxed? The muscles in your toes. Now's the time to say a prayer and ask the Lord to give you courage and lead you, and not be fearful of what you are doing that you may feel is too small to make an impact. For as long as the Lord calls you to it, it is pleasing to Him, just like the plumb line of Zerubbabel. Spend more time laying here, being still, allowing the Holy Spirit to take over you, to fill you up with courage to do small things. If you need to move on with your day, bring your knees to your chest, hug them in, squeeze them tight, and roll over to your favorite side. Slowly press yourself back up. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. Take courage, guys. Don't despise the days of small beginnings. Be blessed.